Hey Noville fans, and welcome to another Q&A Wednesday. One of the questions that's been asked is, do I wonder who I look like or who I act like? I guess the question is dealing with probably my biological side. I would say when I look in the mirror every day, yeah, I wonder who I look like. Do I look like somebody from my mom's side? Do I look like somebody from my father's side? Do I look like my father? Do I look like my mother? Those are things that I wonder every day. I look at my kids and I look at them and I wonder if they look like my mother or my father. I wonder what their kids would look like. So I would say that that's a question that I think about a lot. And do I have mannerisms like they do? Is my personality the same as what theirs are? My quirks, my mannerisms, things that I do. That's something I do think about a lot. That's a question that I do ask myself, and I ask my wife that question sometimes is, you know, do you think I would look like my mom or my dad in a certain instance or a certain time or something like that? And that's something I think that most of us folks who were adopted or who don't know our biological parents, that's always a question that we have in the back of our minds of, is this something that we look like, and how can we relate? Because we're always looking for a way to, not just to relate, you know, physically, but I mean, we also want to find a way that we can be able to relate on when it comes to looks and appearances and you know, and things of that nature. I mean, my kids have that same relationship with myself and my wife. They look like me and they look like my wife to a certain point. I mean, my Korean genes trump most of her white genes, so they look more like me in a sense. I would say my daughter looks more like I do in most of her features. My son, he is a good blend of both of us, I would say. He has a good mix of me, and there's some whiteness to her that you can see in his face and such, but I would say that my genes are probably more stronger than in both of them. And as they have kids of their own, and unless they find mates, now my son, he's dating a white girl, so I know that the Korean side will get thinner and thinner as they progress in their family tree. My daughter, I don't know if she would ever date an Asian guy or not, or be involved in a Asian relationship. I mean, again, I can't fault them. I'm married to a white woman, so they'll be married to white people too, so I don't know if that would ever change or not. So, but not to make it into a race thing, but the thing is that I just know that any Korean features that would be the strongest would be with me, and with them, along the line with that, it would be phased out eventually as they progress in their lineage of things. How would I feel about that? I guess I just don't know. I mean, I'm the only Korean Bowden that I know of. I mean, I had to be adopted into the family tree or grafted into it in order for the lineage to be successful, because I was the only male. I'm the only male Bowden past my lineage. I mean, my mom and dad have a daughter who is blood. It ultimately continues on bloodline through my sister, but name-wise, it continues through me and my son. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how the name line and the bloodline and all that kind of business. I'm not big into genealogy. My wife is. Bloodline and name line and stuff, she has all that stuff figured out. I don't know. I'm not well versed in that kind of stuff. How that family tree forks and does its thing, I have no freaking idea. How you're going to have to If you know more about that stuff, you drop me a comment and let me know. I don't know, but as long as my son is producing males, the name will continue on, so far as I'm concerned, and we'll try to do the best we can to keep him away from RF radiation so he can produce males. I mean, that's all I can tell you, so he can be able to do that. But yeah, I always wonder every single time, you know, who do I look like? Who do I favor? I mean, for any adoptee, that's just a big thing that we always think about and always wonder. So if you're an adoptee and you think the same thing, let me know. Let me know what you think, and if you ponder the same thing and the same thoughts and ideas as I do, because I look in the mirror every single day and wonder who I look like and who I favor the most, and that's just it. When you're grown and raised to be the only one of you in a small town of whatever, there's just no other similarities of yourself that you've grown up with. I mean, I'm number 1, my son is number 2, and my daughter's number 3. That's how I label my family, and everything past that will have a number. But we all do ponder, what do we look like? Who do we favor the most? My kids, of course, have me to look at, to favor. My relatives, blood relatives, I don't know if I ever do meet them. I would like to know, but at this point in time, like I said, with this being my 50th birthday this year, they got to be in their 70s at least, just estimating, I'm guessing. If they're still alive, could the possibility still exist to find them? Maybe. Is there other relatives or siblings that's out there in existence? Maybe. So the search is always still there to be continued. You never know. Ancestry thing is always out there. One of these days, maybe I'll get an email pop up saying that there's a match with somebody. Right now, all I get hits from is distant 4th and 5th cousins. That's about the closest match that I can get from anybody, and they all seem to be adopted also. It must be just a trend to where we're just all adopted, and that just seems to be the way it is. So that's our lives. The life of a cat, a Korean adoptee. Another pondering question. So the answer is yes. We always do wonder, who do we look like? Who do we favor? Do we have the same mannerisms? And would it be nice to know? Sure. But yeah, hopefully that answers today's questions for you. Kind of short, but not really much I can get into with this question. But yeah, definitely let me know if you got any comments on that. Be sure to drop me a comment if you do, and thanks for joining. So thanks. See you on the next one.